Good morning and welcome to a slightly unusual and unscheduled Facebook Live this morning. I'm going to go live every day this week with some little tips and tricks and help for anyone who's getting started with email marketing. Email marketing is the theme for all of my content during February. And you may or may not have seen that I have actually just published a new blog post this morning, which is all about how to choose your email service provider. So if you are just getting started, definitely go and check that out. There is a link in the title of this Facebook Live. If you have already got started with your email marketing, actually this is a very useful post because it takes you through some of the key things you should be thinking about and considering when you do choose a service. So to make sure that you've chosen one that's right for your business, because there are so many different services out there. And each of them have different features, different things that they're focusing on, and it can be very difficult to know which to choose. So do go and take a look at that. Today and right now, however, the reason I've come on live is to talk about why you might be putting off getting started with your email marketing. It's something that a lot of business owners do put off. And so I just wanted to kind of chat a little bit about that. I think there are probably two or three main reasons that make people hesitate before starting with their email marketing. So I wanted to kind of cover those reasons, and if they apply to you, then hopefully give you a bit of help as to why that might be happening and what you can do about it. If I don't cover the reason, if you're one of those people and you are hesitating to get started for a different reason, then do tell me. I'd love to know why it is that you are putting off getting started with email marketing. Email marketing is an incredibly powerful tool, and yes, there are those out there, and you may have come across them, who are saying that email is dead. Personally, I don't believe that for a second. I think email continues to be an extremely powerful and impactful tool when it comes to marketing your business and to making sales. So let me know your thoughts on that too. Now let's get started with I've picked out three main reasons that I've come across for people who are putting off getting started. The first one is this big fear of being a nuisance. We all get those emails in our own inboxes where we kind of roll our eyes, touch, delete, or don't delete, and our inboxes just get fuller and fuller of these unread emails, and it's just a hassle. And we don't want to be the other end. We don't want to be a hassle to people. So let's talk about that for a minute. Ultimately, the purpose of an email isn't to be a hassle. It isn't to annoy people. It's to give value. And so you need to think about who you're directing your emails to and what you're putting in them. Now, as long as you are targeting your ideal clients, you know who your ideal clients are, and you're targeting those people for your email list, and then you're creating content in your emails that those people are going to be interested in, that's going to help them, that's going to give them value in some way, then how could you be a nuisance? The only times that email becomes a nuisance is if you are sending irrelevant content. So if you're sending stuff to people that they don't care about, if you're sending kind of spammy or content that's too salesy, obviously that's not going to give them value either, then that's when it becomes a nuisance. So make sure, yes, it's fine to sell in your emails and it's fine to promote stuff, but you've got to get the balance right as well. It's the same with any content that you're creating, whether it be on social media, in your blog or whatever. You have to get the balance right, and it's all about giving people value. So make sure that your number one focus is actually providing value, and that then you're sort of threading in your kind of more promotional stuff, so that it's done more naturally and it's not kind of overwhelming, and people aren't just being hit with constant barrage of sales messages. So if you're worried about being a nuisance, don't be a nuisance. Just make sure that you are providing value and that you're creating content that people want to read. So that's point number one. Point number two, another reason that people put off starting an email list is because they simply don't know what to put in their emails. It's like, what should I be putting in my emails? I don't know what I'd say. So start simple. I mean, if you're creating weekly content, which you should be, by the way, then, or at least regular content, whether that be blogging, podcasting, video, Facebook Live, however you want to do it, however fits best for your business, you should be providing kind of regular content for your audience as a way of building your visibility and adding value, which in turn builds your brand, builds your reputation, and all of that good stuff. So if you're doing that, then a great place to start with your emails is just to share that kind of content. So anyone who's on my email list will know that on a weekly basis, they'll get an email from me saying, okay, I've just published my latest blog post. Here's what it's about. Here's why you should check it out. And, a few little updates. So it doesn't need to be rocket science. It's just a case of keeping people updated. Now, yes, there's tons more you can do with email, but you don't need to. And actually, if you're worried about being a nuisance, then it is best to start small. Just start with those little update emails with letting people know what's going on, and then you can build from there. Then you can find out from your audience, what do they want? What content do they want you to send them? How often do they want you to email them? And you can then start to refine what you're doing and build it more around what your audience wants. But if in doubt, just start simple. One weekly email saying, hi guys, this is what I've been doing this week. Here's my latest blog post. I hope you enjoy it. Boom, done. And then you can build from there. And then what you're doing with that is that you're continuing to add value to the people who have signed up your list. You're continuing that relationship. You're being consistent. You're showing up. They're seeing you in their inbox on a regular basis, so that when the time comes that you do want to promote something, perhaps you're launching, a new product, a new service, whatever it may be, they know you. You've been in their inbox regularly, and so another email from you isn't going to be weird. It's not going to suddenly seem a bit spammy and a bit pushy, because you've been there, you've been showing up, you've been giving them value. And so when you now come back in and go, oh, by the way, guys, really excited to let you know, I'm just launching this new service, I'd love you to take a look. It's not going to feel weird because they've got that relationship with you. You've built their trust. I hope that makes sense. Let me know if not. So if you're not too sure where to start, what to put in your emails, then that's a great place to start. The third reason that a lot of people put off starting an email list is simply the tech side of things. And that is completely understandable because we've all been through it. You aren't born knowing how to do these things. You have to kind of find out. Now, thankfully, actually, these days, there are so many services out there that make it really easy. It's not like it used to be. You don't need a massive amount of technical knowledge. You just need to find the right email provider, which is what my blog post today is all about. So if you haven't done that yet, do go and read that post, because it'll take you through step by step all the things you need to do to pick the right provider for you. And then it's just a case of following the instructions. These days, it tends to be very much, laid out in layman's terms. There isn't too much jargon. There's plenty of FAQs. There's plenty of support. So just give it a go. And I think you'll be surprised at how easy it is to get started. And yes, you can start to do, there are, more complex things that you can do with your email provider, but you don't need to. In order to start an email list and send an email to your list, it's fairly basic, it's fairly easy to do, and you can follow the instructions and do it fairly simply. So give it a go and you can build from there. Once you've got comfortable with that, then if you do want to start doing more complex things, you want to kind of build in automations or whatever it may be, you can build from there as you build your own confidence. So don't be put off by the tech side of things. It really isn't that scary, and you won't know until you try, and you'll be so glad that you did once you have. So those are the 3 main reasons that I've come across that people put off starting an email list and start getting started with their email marketing. Now, if that is you, I definitely urge you to go for it, to just give it a try, because email marketing is going to make such a difference. It really does help you to build those relationships. It helps you to set yourself up as an expert, and it helps you to make sales. So it's definitely worth it. So give it a go. If you do have questions, feel free to pop them in the comments. And like I say, if you're hesitating for a different reason, then let me know. I'd be really interested to know what other reasons there are for people hesitating before getting started with their emails. And that's it. I just wanted to hop on briefly and give you a few thoughts on email and what might be stopping you getting started. And I'll be back tomorrow. And tomorrow I am talking about what email can actually do for your business. So I'll be going into a bit more detail on the power of email marketing and why it really is such a great thing to get started with. So do join me. That'll be tomorrow, same place. I'll see you then. Take care. Have a great day.